Greetings comic book fans, I'm Jason and welcome back to the Dude Cave. This is Dude's Comic Corner, my weekly video where I share with you the brand new books I picked up today on officially the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. Made even better this week because it's Star Wars Eve here in the UK. I know the rest of the world, tomorrow is Star Wars Eve, but we get Star Wars a day early in the UK. Right now, it's a great day to be an Englishman because only one more day to Star Wars. Anywho, I've been away for a bit. It's been about 2 weeks since I did a video. Basically, I did some overtime at work. I'm working nights now, so it just made it really difficult to do a video. It made it difficult to get through all my books on time. Made it so that kind of exacerbated the whole situation. And then last week I had a cold. 2 days it felt like I was gargling razor blades. Then it kind of went to my head and I was all stuffed up and it sounded like my voice was echoing when I talked. So I ended up, I intended to do a video, but then I was like, nah, I may as well start fresh today, New Comic Book Day. And I've got a lovely haul, 18 books. The big weeks just seem to keep coming. All the little weeks, seem to have vanished. And I'm like, where did they all go? Where did those smaller weeks, go? Anywho, let's get into books I picked up today. I like this cover. It's a bit crazy. It is Batman and Robin Eternal, issue number 11. I saw in the solicits that came out yesterday for April that this book's finishing issue 26, I think, is the final issue. So it isn't going to run as long as Batman Eternal. The story, I don't know. I felt it started off really strong and I really enjoyed it. And I just kind of feel it. They seem to be putting a lot of new talent on the book, which the new talent need to get their break somewhere. But I just feel that this doesn't seem to be as high profile and as high, what's the word? It doesn't seem to be as high on DC's lists of this is going to be a great book. So I feel that's hurting the book. The last two issues I've kind of, I think a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm hoping this issue is going to get things back on track, because I still think the mystery at the core of it, of what exactly Batman and Mother did, I think that's still really good. But I'm hoping we're going to get to the good stuff rather than dealing with all this random. Because last week I felt the story got a bit muddled, and I don't know if I read it when I was tired, and maybe if I reread it, it will make more sense. But it just felt like there was just what was making sense in the beginning, this general story that we was following. Now there's a bit too much twists and turns for twists and turns' sake, and it was getting a bit confusing and a bit muddled. So hopefully things get a bit clearer this issue. But it's a good start because I do like that cover. We then have a Batgirl issue number 46. This is late, but it's got spoiler in it. I've been disappointed we haven't seen more of her in Batman and Robin Eternal. So it's great that she's showing up in Batgirl. That should be good. We then have Justice League issue 46, which has part 6 of the Darkseid War. I've been really enjoying the Darkseid War one-shot. We had the Lex Luthor one last week, which was really good. So I've really been enjoying all this stuff, because I was a bit negative when they brought out the one-shots, but I ended up really enjoying them. I think they're pretty much, I think majority of them were really good, and if you're enjoying the story, they were all well worth read. They weren't essential to the story, but they were good. Oh, excuse me. They were good stories to read. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the main story now and seeing where we're going to go from where we were left off. We then have Superman American Alien issue number 2. Really enjoyed the first issue, so I'm intrigued to see what happens next, because I believe every issue is going to jump a few years, so it's going to be through random parts of Superman's life. We then have We Are Robin, which features issue number 7, which features Robin War Part 4. I've really been enjoying Robin War. I think it's been a really good story. 3 issues in, I think it's really been great. There's been some surprising developments in that I didn't expect, and all in all, yeah, I'd say it's been a good crossover event so far. Then moving on to Image, we have the Autumnland number 8, which I just love this book. This book's been really good, so looking forward to more goodness. We have Descender issue number 8, which last issue we introduced to a new character who is the robot, the main character robot Tim that we were following. This is Tim's brother, the human brother. now growing up into a man, and so that, like, now that he knows Tim's alive, it's going to be interesting to kind of find out more of what happened. But yeah, really enjoying this book. Been a great read. We then have Huck issue 2, which I'm really excited to read. I really enjoyed the first issue. It's about this guy, kind of got Superman-like powers, lives in this small town, but they all know about his powers, but they keep it as a secret because he does like nice things for people and helps people, and he's a good guy. And this new couple move into the area, and they don't keep the secret. They phone it in, and next thing he wakes up and there's all the press outside his door. So it's going to be interesting, not just to see the impact on Huck's life, to see what's going to happen to him now that everybody knows what he can do, because you've got to think initially it's going to be the press, but you've got to think then the military are going to come in, and the government, and they're all going to get involved. But also it's going to be interesting the backlash to this couple leaking the secret and how the town are going to react to them. So I feel there's interesting elements there that I'm looking forward to reading. But I feel Mark Millar at the moment is really in a bit of a renaissance, and he's doing some really great stuff. We then have issue 2 of Goddamned. Imagine if the Bible was reimagined as a violent action movie, kind of like Tarantino does the Bible. Really good stuff. The first issue I went into was unsure, but it's Jason Aaron, and he just it seems like, I think he could write the phone book and make it really interesting and violent. So I just love Jason Aaron as a writer, and I love the first issue of this. I'm looking forward to getting to the next one. Maybe we'll see a bit more of Noah in this one. We then have Tokyo Ghost issue number 4, which I feel this series, as it's going from issue to issue, I feel it's getting stronger, and we're getting more into the central 2 characters, and I've been enjoying it. And the art as well by Sean Murphy has been brilliant. Really fits the book. Now onto Marvel, we have All New X-Men issue number 2. I enjoyed the first issue of this. I like this new young team that they've put together. The characters they've added to it, I think, are going to be good additions. I think you look at a character like Kid Apocalypse, I think he's going to have a lot in common with Cyclops, because his Cyclops is in this world where his older version has turned really bad, and the world really hates Cyclops. And he has to deal with that, and kind of you've got Kid Apocalypse, who that he could grow up to be Apocalypse, and people don't like Apocalypse, so they've kind of got that kindred thing going on there. So I'm looking forward to seeing when those two characters interact. I think that should be interesting. But the first issue was surprisingly a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to this one. I thought Bagley's art, the first issue, I thought was the best Bagley art I've seen in a while. We then have Miss Marvel, which I don't. This is now $3.99. I'm kind of thinking, was the first issue? I thought the first issue was still $2.99. But I must have dreamt that, because this issue is $3.99, which is disappointing. You know, this was kind of, I think it was Marvel's last $2.99 book, and while it was kind of, it was expected that that wouldn't last, it's still disappointing. I still would have really, it would have been nice, you know, if they'd left it at that, but hey. It's a popular book, and Marvel were going to get rid of $2.99 anyway, but the fact that it's a popular book and they can make $1 more on each book, they're going to do that. I really enjoyed this coming back. I like the way, oh God, his name escapes me right now, but is it Bruno? But yeah, Miss Marvel's best friend, who was in love with her, she told him to move on, and then she was away being an Avenger, and now she's come back to her life. And everybody's moved on. Nobody stayed where they were when she left. And he's got a girlfriend now. And she's kind of, she don't like that. She liked the idea of having this boy in love with her there, that he was always reliable and he was always there. And now she's returned and his life's moved on. And he's not that reliable person now because he's got somebody else in his life. I like that. I can relate to that. And so it's interesting to see Miss Marvel deal with that. So that's really cool. Really, still a really great book. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't. We then have the Mighty Thor issue number 2, which we have the return of Loki, which that is always good. See him go up against the Goddess of Thunder. We have Star Wars Kanan issue number 9. I've been enjoying this, but I do feel the story seems to be backwards. Kind of we're dealing now, we're going back into Kanan's past and to how he first became the Padawan to his Jedi Master and how they got involved in the Clone Wars and his first mission. And kind of we've seen how this all ends up in the Clone Wars, and it kind of would have been nice to maybe have started with this. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I think it's been a good read, this book has. But the Star Wars books in general have been of good quality since they come out from Marvel. I mean, it's part of their success. We then have Darth Vader Annual, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been loving the Vader Down stuff, so I don't know what this is, if this is kind of like a one-shot kind of story, or this is going to tie into what we've been seeing, I don't know. We had the Star Wars Annual last week, which I ended up really enjoying. Despite it not having any of the main characters in it, you had the Emperor in it, but that was it. There was no other characters we know, and it followed this rebel spy, and I really enjoyed that story. I thought that story was really good. And it was kind of like a one-shot deal. You didn't need to have read anything else to enjoy it. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what this annual is going to be. We then have, moving over to Valiant, we have Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, issue number 2. I liked the first issue, but it did seem it was a bit confusing, but I think it was just, the thing with the Valiant that I found is their first issues are okay. And kind of like by the time you get to issue 4, which is usually the end of the first arc, you're pretty much hooked. Because every issue, like, they lay the foundation down, and it works, it's okay, it does what it needs to do, and then they build the next level on, and with the next issue, and then the next issue builds another level on, and by the time you get to issue 4, you're kind of hooked. You're liking what they're building, and you're hooked into it, and every issue just kind of builds on those previous issues, which is what Valiant do. So kind of the first issues very rarely kind of blow you away. I like the Eternal Warrior. He's one of my favourite characters, so I'm interested to find out more about where he is and what's going on with him, and looking forward to seeing him build on what we got in that first issue. Sadly, next up we have Eye of the Time Walk issue 12, and I didn't learn till yesterday, this is the final issue. Now, each week they have in the back, they have like the books that are coming out next month from Valiant. And there's no Eye of the Time Walker there, and I didn't register it. My brain just didn't register that there's no Eye of the Time Walker. Which I know with Ray, they've done, oh, is it Ray? I always pronounce that wrong. I don't know if it's Ray or Ray. But anywho, with that book, we had kind of a little bit of a break of a few months while they did another book. So, to my mind, it could have easily been that, but it didn't register that this could be the last issue until I kind of looking at the books that I had coming out this week, and there it says, oh, final issue, and I was like gutted, because I really enjoyed this book. It's been one of my favourite books, it's been really good, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to finish this off. This will definitely be up there near the top of my reading list this week, because I want to see how it finishes. And my final book this week, we have Imperium issue number 11. This has been brilliant. We have the Vine Imperative. I'm not sure what part we're on, but this has been really good. The robot, Sunlight and Snow, he saved this woman when they raided this base. She turns out to be a Vine seedling, and she's going to give this killer Vine that Arada has captured and has control of. She's going to be able to unlock what Arada's done to him, but they're waiting for the right time, and so it's all waiting to kick off. I'm really enjoying this series. Valiant do a lot of good books, but this is definitely another one of their best ones. So those are my books for this week, 18. Like I say, the small weeks seem to have gone. When I first started doing these videos, I considered a big week to be 10 books. Now, like, I got nearly double that, and it's been like 3 weeks that I've had nearly double that, so I don't know where those went. But if that weren't enough books, I had this arrive in the post today as well. It's Star Trek New Visions, Time's End. It's issue number 2 from IDW. Written by John Byrne, and what it is, because I do love my Star Trek, and what it is it is like a comic, but what they've done is they've taken the pictures and they've arranged the pictures so that it's like a comic, and so they use pictures from the TV show and the characters to tell the story, which I think is a really clever thing to do. So it's almost like a new TV episode, because you've got all these pictures and they add in the locations and the aliens and everything. And yeah, so I couldn't get issue 1. I looked on eBay, couldn't find it, but I managed to find issue 2. So I'm going to try this out. I think these are finished now. I don't think they're doing anymore. But it's kind of like a mini novel. It would have been $7.99, but I got it for like a $5, which I don't know how much that works out in dollars. But usually a $7.99 book over here, if you say it's about £6, and I picked it up, you know, for a less than that. Yeah, I was happy with the price I paid for it, and I'm looking forward to it. I only bought the first one because I want to see what they're like. It's John Byrne though, so it should be good. I'm going to read that. If I like it, I'm going to try and get the rest of them. I think they're finished now. I haven't seen. I've added it to my pull list on my Comixology thing, but and that, I am my phone. I usually have the Comixology app, which the pull list app, because they do the one app where you can read comics, and they have the other app that you can kind of, it's like the pull list, and you go on their website and you create your pull list, all the books you can put on there, and then every week it kind of tells you which books are coming out. It's really good. But since Amazon seems to have taken over Comixology, and since they have, the app doesn't seem to be working quite as good. On there I've still got last week's books. It hasn't changed it to this week's books, you know, it hasn't added this week at all. So I don't know if that's a thing with Amazon taking up, and maybe they're not going to update that app anymore, or what. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be working as well, which is a shame, because it was a nice little app to kind of, if I was in my comic shop and I was a comic short, I could just take my phone out, open the app, see which books are there, and I could figure out which book I haven't got. So that was good. It's a shame if they're going to stop doing that. Anyway, I've twittered on enough. Time for me to go and get a nice cool beverage and start reading some comics. I've still got 6 books from last week to finish, so that's my mission first, to get those books finished. But I'm glad to be back. I will be back at some point with a review video for this week's books. I don't know when that's going to be. The plan would be Monday or Tuesday, but it depends how long it takes me to finish these books. Hopefully, if I can get the 6 books from last week finished today, I can start these books tomorrow. But I ain't going to have much time tomorrow, because I finish work in the morning. I finish at 7. I get home by 7:30. I'll be straight to bed, be in bed by like 8:30, have my breakfast, catch up on stuff at home, go to bed about 8:30, get up at 3:30, and you know, get something to eat, and then I'm going to see it's 10 to 6 the show, and I'm going to see. So I'll have a nice walk to the cinema. It's my bit of exercise. Takes me about 40 minutes, an hour to walk to the cinema. So I'll walk up to the cinema, meet my wife at the cinema, we'll go and see Star Wars, get home, have something to eat, and then it'll be time for me to go to work. So tomorrow isn't going to be a really good day for reading comics, so probably it'll be Friday. So hopefully Friday, Saturday, Sunday I can get through these books, and then Monday or Tuesday I'll be back with a review. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and me twittering on about comics, please give me those beautiful thumbs up. Let me know you like what I'm doing. As I said, I will be back with a review video early next week. Hope you've all had a great new comic book day and a great Star Wars Eve. I will see you all next week. Just keep enjoying your comics. I've been Jason from the Dude Cave. Bye for now.